Hey guys, Mr. B here. Sorry it's been a long time in between me making videos, but it's just been real busy around here. But I think it's time to give you guys a little tour of what we have set up for the tomatoes and peppers and the kind of temporary garden we have going right now. So again, this is just our backyard kind of kitchen garden, but it's not even that yet. We didn't even get our beds set up yet. We haven't had the resources to do that yet. So we're basically kind of doing a bunch of the tomatoes and peppers to get restock on seeds. If you saw my other video on doing germinating old seeds, I had seeds that were 10, 11, 12, 13 years old and that, and a lot of those are, or most of those are right out here right now. Some of these are from back in 2013, 2014, 2015. So come along, I'll show you what we got out here. So this is basically kind of just our little setup to grow a bunch of fruits, veggies to get the seeds from, but we'll also benefit from getting them also. So let me give you a show. Okay, so what we ended up doing was getting 8-foot T-posts and 16-foot long cattle panels, and we put some double folded over weed matting at the bottom underneath, and we got all the grow bags. So we didn't, like I said, we didn't have time to build the big beds this year, so this is kind of what we have going on temporary right now. So what we got going here, we lost one of our showstoppers to what looked like kind of a root nematode rot or something like that. So we got the showstopper there. He's doing real good. Paul Robeson, the San Marzano, yellow zebra, and there's 2 in most of these. These are 10-gallon bags, so we'll see how well those will do handling 2 plants. Like I said, we're just going to see what we can do with these. They're looking really, really nice, lush, green, thick stems. We got the Amish paste, a couple of those in there, and some of these are already getting up, 3 feet up the panel. We were really late on putting a lot of our stuff in the ground. This is the Rutgers that we're trying out this year. We've still got to get some of these stray branches kind of tied up. So we just basically started with some bamboo sticks to kind of get them going straight. And the reason they look a little crooked like this, where you see the main stem kind of bending around and looking kind of weird, we had them sitting over this big blank area in a big clump there. I'll try and insert a picture right here. We had them in the baskets, just kind of surrounded by some chicken wire, because we needed to put some chicken wire around our perimeter fence there. It's got the 2x4 squares on it, but the rabbits could just come right through that. So we ended up putting chicken wire, 24-inch chicken wire, all the way around our fence. And then you can see the rabbits out there, not right now, but they just kind of cruise around the outside looking for their way in, but we got them now. So that's why those branches are kind of crooked like that, because they were in the pots, and then after a long while they got tall enough and they all just drooped over on top of each other. And so then when we finally got them out of that situation, they had already grown kind of 90-degree and stuff. So we're straightening them out. You can kind of see the little S-turn they got going there, trying to get up to that cattle panel. Let me see, that was the Cosmic Burst, the new one from Brad Gates. And you can see where they had tried to root into the ground. You see all the little roots along the branch there? So that's everywhere that it was the branch had kind of drooped down and gone like this, where it would catch water in there, and then they would just start rooting like that because they were wanting to grow into the ground, which wasn't there. Boar's Tooth, another Brad Gates. Is that the new one too? Yeah, that's a new one to me. They gave me those kind of as a sample in my last order. The Abigail, great slicer. That is one of the F1 hybrids we're growing this year, so we had to buy the seeds on that guy. Brandywine, kind of the big old fat potato leaves. Really cool. That's a beautiful plant too, so dark. Let's see here. The Copia, Marvel Stripe, Cherokee Purple. And I will be coming out here, I'll do a video on it, using the little isolation bags to put over the blooms to isolate them so that we don't get not cross contamination, but so we don't get the hybridizing of different tomatoes, since these are so close to each other. There's the Copia, the beefsteak. Some of these guys already have little maters growing in there, so that's pretty cool. Let's see here, and the gold medal. And you see how it looks like down the back here. Whoops, sorry, kind of walking a little too shaky there. My air conditioner just came on, so you might hear that in the background. All right, let's see here. The blueberries, boy, this is sure is such a beautiful plant. They grow so pretty. And I'm just kind of weaving it back and forth through the cattle panel. That's what we'll do all the way up here. And I probably won't even have to tie them up to it that much. There's a sweetie, the little heirloom sweet tomato, not the sweet 100, but a sweetie, so bigger than the sweet 100. Black and brown boar, grew that one a couple years ago, saved some seeds from that. Yeah, most of these are from saved seeds. Brad's atomic grape from 2015, that tag says. So you save those seeds right and you can grow them. Sun Gold, that's our other F1 hybrid, but it's our favorite, so we always have to buy seeds for that one. Black cherry, that's going to be a nice plant this year. That thing is just getting up there. Let me see, Golden Sunray, another one of our favorite orange tomatoes, but my all-time favorite, which you've heard me say in all my videos, is a good old Woodle Orange. So I'm so glad that some of these came. Those are from 2015 also, those seeds. We were just trying to make sure that these old seeds would germinate, and now we're going to be saving seeds from these for the future. So we got some random stuff back here. Right here, we're going to be putting another cattle panel here for all of our cucumbers and some other vining things too. And then kind of back in this area, we may grow some of the sprawling stuff like our pumpkins, watermelons, and squash, like the butternut. So this guy, don't know what happened with the jalapenos. A couple things here I think got kind of the nematodes on the roots, because they're all in the same soil as all these other plants and they're doing excellent. So sorry Mr. Jalapenos. Tomatillos, a couple of those in there. Black Beauty zucchini. This whole 2 rows back here and up here all just got planted, so they're kind of, or just got put into here. They've been kind of hardening off for weeks out front, so they're looking a little bit peaked. So the Black Beauty zucchini, we're getting some male and females on those. Okra, first time growing that. The Clemson spineless, the Waltham butternut squash. I'm going to come back in here probably today or tomorrow and put a bunch of composted wood chips all in here as a mulch. What do we got here? Another cuke of some kind. That's the straight 8 cucumber. Just have them temporarily going up the bamboo, and then we'll put them on a cattle panel rack too. Market More cucumbers. Again, yeah, these guys are struggling outside. They've been in a little 3-inch cup for way too long. So these just got transferred. They're all starting to get their little coil around the bamboo, holding themselves up there. We got our National Pickling cucumbers. Again, 10-gallon bag. We got 3 plants in there. We'll see how it goes. I'm feeding them. They got that espoma at planting time, the biotone with the mycorrhiza and fungi, beneficial fungi in there, and then fish emulsion after planting too. Here's my habaneros from old saved seeds. So look at these guys. Those are brackenid wasp cocoon. Those are the ones that you see on top of hornworms, and they're beneficial. They will sit there and eat the hornworm when it hatches. So those guys are good for us. Boy, this habanero plant is looking good, looking lush. Lots of blooms on there. So and this is 2 different ones. We got a jalapeno M on the left here. Oh, there's a little bumblebee. Nice. Thank you, Mr. Bumblebee, doing your job. Look at that. And then this one is our ghost pepper. That was the only plant that we purchased this year, and it's got some nice peppers growing on it. The Corno de Toro, it's got some beast-sized peppers on here. These are beautiful. Bunch of those on the one next to it. 2 plants in there. Sorry about that. And then we've got, there he is. Look at that. First one of the year. Oop, he's trying to escape. Well, I'll take you off camera while eliminate him. There's the sign to look for right there. When you see the little poops on the leaf, they are nearby. And look at that. You know, that was a small one. Those things will decimate your plant so quick. I come out and check my plants 4 or 5 times a day. Something right there. Chewing. So anyway, this is the sweet banana pepper. And look at these. Just growing good. We're gonna have to start harvesting some of these, but we wanted them out there while we were before we filmed. All right, and these are the red bountiful bell pepper. It's been a great bell pepper for us. I've grown so many different ones that never produced very well at all. These are great. The one next to it succumbed to the nematode, I guess. It did what these did. So sad. So that's what we got going on right now, guys. Get the little composter out there. I'll show you how. Hopefully you can see it on here. See how we put that chicken wire, and it comes out the bottom and folds out about 2-3 inches to the outside also, so they can't really dig under. So it's got the 2x4 fencing, welded wire, and then the small ones, the chicken wire. So then we'll be putting up some big 8-foot posts here and running ribbon across it, you know, about a foot or so in from this fence, so that it will deter deer. We haven't had one come back here yet, but now we've got what they want back here. So just gonna come back here and let you see it all again. So that's how we have it right now. Ooh, it's hot out here. We're coming into a almost 100-degree heat spell this next week. So it's been hitting about 90 each day. I'm having to water these things right now every day, just because there's not much soil in here. I got to get some little trays for underneath them to kind of hold a little bit of water in them. It does have good drainage, the soil I made for them. I mixed up some topsoil from our friends over at Complete Turf, added some peat moss to that, perlite, compost. What else did I put in there? And some more of that Espoma Biotone Plus fertilizer. So that's what's made all the fertilizer or the soil that's in these pots. So crossing our fingers, hoping we're having a great year. We appreciate you guys following along and checking us out. Leave us a like, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And then you know, let us know what tomatoes you're growing this year. We appreciate you being here with us. Have a blessed day.